shit and do all that, and then
100%.
then we'll get into it. Hey, what's up? Excuse me, let's start that again. New Zealand and the world. Oh god, I'm doing my old intro. Hey, what's up, New Zealand and the world? My name is Lucas Lawmans, and I'm just a random Kiwi voice. We've got the man King Cass sitting with us today. We're going to have a bit of a yarn about what's going on in his world, his journey with his music and youth work and all the other bits and pieces. It's been a while since we've had someone in the studio here with Kiwi Voice to have a bit of yarn. So awesome to have you on board, King Cass, my man.
No,
great to have you here. Yeah,
good to be here, my man. Like
absolutely.
I say, it's all about connection, collaboration, because that's the key, connectivity. You know.
Absolutely, and we've just had an absolute heart full of that over the last few days at Spirit Fest. Probably a good place to start, since it's fresh in the memory.
Yep.
I mean, I had an absolute ball myself, as probably everyone there that was within Kiwi of me could pick up. My vibes are pretty high.
Yeah.
How about yourself? You've done both years. It's been a Christchurch, haven't you? So, what's been your journey getting to that? And tell us all about it.
Well, I saw the word Spirit Fest, and I'm on a bit of a spiritual journey with myself. I'm just really like tapping into the kind of like that essence of who I am as a character now, and letting that shine, and not being afraid to be that bubbly, loud voice of New Zealand, the world, 03 to the world, baby. And so for me, it was like I saw it, and I was just like, okay, so I did a pitch. Next minute, boom, I was getting these 2 emails back, booked for my workshop, The Awakening from Dark to Light,
awesome.
and booked for my show. So obviously I turned up there, did my thing, had a nice bit of a small crowd. I was not on the main stage, and then I had my presentation that was kind of really well received, and people started hearing it and coming in, because I had to kind of find where it was happening. Like I have haka and little things like that in my show, so they were drawing different people in through different parts of my show. So we finished that, and it was amazing. I did some inner child journey. I did my first breath work and yoga. Awesome. Wasn't for me, but I did it. So I can say I've done that, you know. And so for me, bro, like I thought, well, should I apply for the North Island Spirit Festival? So I was like, okay, so I applied for that. Bing, I landed it. Both presentation and music. Again, not on the main stage and all that. So while I was in the Spirit Fest up north, Whānau, I did something quite special. I seen all the crowd, and I seen this big audience, and I seen just everyone on stage having fun. It was almost like a jam session slash, the spiritual bobbly, get your spiritual animal out. So I was out in the crowd, spirit animal going off, and then I was like, I'm going to go up on that stage. So I go up on that stage, and I just felt like leadership came into it. And like authority of having that space to actually be like, can I take that mic, So I was up there for a while, jumping up and down and wobbling and dancing and jumping on the speakers and just really taking into that space. And then I just saw the mic kind of getting passed around, and I saw this lady, and I was just like, I didn't even say anything. I just put my hand out, bro. The mic was in my hand. And I didn't know what came out of me. The beat was random. It was very trancey and techno-y, and I just started rapping about hope and love, and we're here to change the vibration and make change, and I freestyled. The crowd went nuts.
Awesome,
So once that finished, it was the next night where we were back there at the main stage, and I was like, I'm going to go get a photo of me in the tent where the sound engineers are. Just to manifest that I'm going to be on that stage next.
Awesome,
Boom. Next minute, my manager signed me. So recently signed with New Zealand Music, Chris Bryant. Big shout out to you, Chris. And in the end, I manifested that I was going to get on that main stage. So I kept in touch with Franco, and I kept in touch. We were pitching. We were doing all the right thing. The presentation didn't get accepted for the South Island. I think it might have been already filled with workshop spaces, or because mine's quite a long show, you need projectors, you need screens with a bit more in it. They booked me for a main stage performance. It wasn't really the main stage. It was at the mind and body stage, which was like, honestly,
was the main stage.
The main stage. So, manifest, Whānau. Think, believe, and chase it. Like once you imagine it and you believe it, honestly, you can achieve it.
If you can get what that feeling's like, what it'll be like when you're in that position, you're already living it.
So I had my first main stage performance of my whole career at Spirit Fest, South Island, and bro, people were chanting my lyrics back at me.
Awesome.
I don't know if you were there for that set.
Oh, I missed
it on Thursday night. I wanted to be on Saturday, bro, or Friday, but that's cool. I'm going to apply for that next time.
Me and my daughter were there, and I did mention it earlier in the day. I was like, I'm pretty keen to go, but we'd had such a massive day. I'd been up from 5, I got to like 10, but I was like, can't do it, gotta make it. So unfortunately I didn't catch your set, but we'll be hooking up again. So
it is live streamed if you wanted to go.
Awesome.
So check it out on the King Cass page. But so like getting into that space was just like, wow, okay, I can connect with crowds. I'm a master of ceremonies. I'm an MC. I can control the crowd. They eat out the palm of my hand. If I say this, you say this, and it just worked. And I felt like I'm destined for these main stages, you know. And now we're setting up my New Zealand tour and trying to get Earthbeat Festival and trying to get some other festivals. But the goal for the end of this year is to try and get me on some of those more predominant music festivals where I get to rub shoulders with those international those Aotearoa artists, because you never know what doors are going to open, and I'm on this journey and I'm a manifester, bro, and I don't stop manifesting.
Friend, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. You had a sort of some success, I would say, or at least I was following you on socials with the recent single Old Days.
Yes,
you got up to number 2 on New Zealand charts.
Number 2 on the New Zealand charts. He's watching. He's out there. That's a real podcast guy who's just someone that really shows interest in the character. I think it's important because it gives us topics to talk about. So we got number 2. We're actually starting a boosted campaign at the moment, so stay tuned for my boosted campaign if you guys want to come support. Just chuck a couple of bucks in or something. We're trying to get a boosted campaign together to get South Island Media to shoot the music video for Old Days.
So boosted, what's a boosted campaign?
So it's like a crowdfunding.
Oh yeah, cool.
So we're trying to raise $1,500. So one company might just go bloop, or
who knows,
you know.
That's right.
Seed planted.
You
know, and if you want to come check it out, Whānau boosted campaign, you'll see that on my page, King Cass and all that. And like I say, we're just kind of like putting it out there to our followers now and being like, come be part of it in some way. Be part of it. Chuck a couple bucks in here, or like keeping it. So that's a crowdfunding thing. And so that's rolling off kind of the back end of all these awakening presentations that are funded by the City Council at the moment.
Okay. So tell us about them. What's going on with the awakening presentations?
So the Awakening from Dark to Light is around a 2-hour show. It can have a gap in the middle depending on what the facility is. If it's at a festival, we just run it. If it's if we're hosting one, we kind of have a kai break and then come back for the second half. I use documentaries, acting, skits, music videos, educational models, and haka. Te whare tapa whā. It's this full edutainment. So it's a multimedia show. I've been delivering it for about 5 years now. And I feel like it's at 99%. And I think the 100% mark will be when the right corporation or the right people grab it and take it on the road and go international with it. That's when it hits 100%. So I think it's that. I'm leaving a bit of room to manifest to get it to that. We're on tour at the moment. We're about to do our first one at Hornby High School, and then that's just like an in-house one. And then I'm doing a community event, which is Inspire 2024. And then we're doing one in Aranui, and then we're doing one over in Tauranga Library. And this is based around Christchurch's stuff. Outside of that, I'm off to Tauranga, Wellington, Rotorua, Auckland all this year too. So and that's all just because we've reached out to the right services and organisations, and they're willing to take our package on. So we've got like a full package that we can send out to people if they're interested in this kaupapa, in this program, workshop, etc. To me, it's a show though. You know, like I've got all my songs tied in it. Songs to my kids, songs to hope, songs to change, songs to have fun, songs to just vibe out, songs to say something. You know, so I've got my whole journey through it, and it's like a full-on blown show. And like I say, I'm a one-man band, bro. I'm doing it all on my own. Awesome. And I just deliver it on my own as a solo artist, motivational speaker.
So it sounds like you're doing pretty well in terms of getting that message out there through that. So I mean, for the people that aren't familiar with the actual show itself, what's the drive? What is it all about? What's the driving force behind it?
So it's my own lived experience. I gotta say this, I'm looking at the camera. Own your story. Get out there and own your story, because when you own your story, whānau, it allows somebody else to feel safe to own their own story. When you share, other people share. Akotanga is about sharing the knowledge. Sometimes the knowledge may be in your story and you don't know it. Golden nuggets sit inside trauma. Golden nuggets sit inside childhood trauma. There's gold through all of the stuff we've been through. So it's my own lived experience of ADHD. Growing up with ADHD, diagnosed at age 6.
I like your taking the piss out of yourself.
That's a skit. I'm just trying to be funny and have fun and doing what I love to do and not caring what anyone thinks anymore. You know, putting myself right out there now. I'm done. I'm over. I'm like, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. I'm already been out there enough. Here I am. And I'm getting louder and prouder. So it's my lived experience around ADHD, finding my mum twice and saving her life. So we reenact that on stage for a small skit. Psychosis to methamphetamine, drug-induced psychosis, childhood trauma, bullying, success in the music industry, education around youth development and youth empowerment. So I've got a certificate in social wellbeing level 4. Awesome. So it's a level 4 in social wellbeing and youth development. It's a tongue twister. Level 4 in social wellbeing and youth development. Big shout out to Praxis New Zealand. If anyone out there wanting to dive into that sort of world and get into the youth sector, Praxis New Zealand with the best course. you know, I thought I was going to do this course and then end up a youth worker, but I seen the bigger vision. It was like, I don't want to be the worker. I want to create the programs, create the workshops, create the fun, create the entertainment.
I want those boundaries.
Yeah, I didn't want to be boxed in. So I don't work as a youth worker. I'm my own person. I mentor young people as well. You know, parents reach out to me and we have contracts and mentoring, and I'm looking at setting up an online mentoring thing as well, just to bring a little bit more poots here so I can keep moving forward. It's forward movement, the King Cass movement.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So you're plenty on at any one time. I mean, how do you're juggling it all. You sort of, I mean, I suppose it's not so much of an issue when you're loving it. You're loving what you do.
I'm ADHD, bro.
My attention's dialed into a higher dimension. Hear that? ADHD. Attention dialed into a higher dimension. We are the superpower kids, honestly.
And I'm finally grasping it and being like, I'm proud.
Yep.
I'm proud to be ADHD, and some people don't align with me, and that's fine, because sometimes our energy and our wairua can shake their demons, you know, and it rattles the cages. I love rattling cages. Duty Sesh, you said you've done, Sesh, you said you did an interview on him. He's rattling every single cage, but, you know, and I think everyone has their own way and their own way and platform, and I think it's important just to be supportive. It doesn't mean you have to go like it and share everything, because then you'll overflood your own page with everybody else, but be focused on who you are. Put yourself in the light and just have that good heart behind you. So when you meet these people, you already can be like, oh, no, I've watched you, I've connected with you. And then they're like, oh, from afar. Support from afar is important.
Oh, absolutely. And it's sort of coming from a place of abundance. So, you know, you're not in that competition mindset, you know, and that was something that I picked up from Joe Rogan about 2 or 3 years ago, you know, when I first started, of course, the man, when I first started watching him, is that, you know, you got to be aware that there's enough, as long as you're positive about it, there's enough for everyone out there, you know.
Right.
You know, you got to come from that place where you believe that and know it and feel it. You know,
oh, bro, and we breed tall poppy, you know, and
we do in New Zealand,
and I can admit it, like, actually sit here as a, you know, I'm not saying humbling myself because that's not the right thing to say, but, you know, I've had it, and sometimes I still get it, but I'm able to check it and say, hold up, why do I feel this way? I should be happy for that person. So what? They might have done something to me in the past. Cool. Enjoy your journey, bro. I'm happy for you. But if it's something that's like a quick of a trigger, like you see someone else's show and you're like, ooh, and you get a little bit of that feeling of, oh, what about me? I just go, why do I feel that way? Okay, my abandonment issues are coming in. My insecurities are kicking in. Some of my childhood trauma's kicking in. And that's okay. You know what? Go well. Bless you well. Love heart. You know? And it changes things. And then next minute, you're getting booked for something like that. And it happens like, you be salty, you'll get salt. You know, you be happy and sugary, well, you get the sugar.
Very wise,
You know, so what you said before was massive about collaboration and competition. Competition happens at the bottom. Collaboration happens at the top.
Absolutely.
So let's collaborate.
You're exactly right. You're bang on. So I mean, you're sounding coming from a place of wisdom, it sounds like to me. You know, I've spent the last 2 or 3 years going pretty deep internally, meditation and breath work and all the rest of it, to come up with some of these true feelings that you and I've just exchanged right now. What's worked for you? Are you a meditator? Like, what is it is it just you, as you say, recognizing, coming to a point in your life where you turn? What was it? What is it?
It's honestly, it's buzzy, because you mentioned meditation and I was seeing about this transcendent stuff, and I want to ascend because I know that there's more afterlife. And I want to be part of that bigger light picture. I know it, you know, I can see it. I'm not going to hide it. It's in my music. I talk about spaceships and galactical stuff. It's all in it, you know. And so I looked at this meditation the other day and I just couldn't get into it. And I was like, why? Well, this isn't for me. So I've got ice hockey, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I nurture my inner child. I look after my inner child first. And again, I pull myself out of holes by checking myself. Because I see myself not falling into a hole. It's not a hole. And it's not failure. It's your first attempt in learning. Your first attempt in learning. I like
that. It's another one. That's good.
Because you can really learn. You don't fail. You're just learning for what time to do next time. Definitely. So it's about putting myself in check. Emotional regulation, understanding those emotions. Why are they like that? Why do I feel this way? You know, do I feel hated on? Do I feel discriminated? Do I feel ostracized? Yeah, I do, but why? Look into it. Cool. Done. Looked into it. Move on. Boom. Go find something. So this is what works for me, is that if there's a negative thing happening, I try and find the positive within that negative, and if there isn't, I remove myself and start something positive. Because that positive energy now blocks out the negative vibe. It's that whole, the light will penetrate the darkness. There's so much negativity around us at the time. I'm on social media all the time. It's a negative space. But I'm just like, you know, and I used to get quite cut up with the old comments and that. And then I started commenting back to them recently and liking them and that. And then I thought, nah, I'm going to kill it with silence. I'll leave it there. Yeah. If it's derogatory and it doesn't align with what you're kind of speaking to on my page, I'll delete the page. I'll delete the comment and maybe block you too if you keep coming. But actually, I'd just rather leave it there because it's still another comment again. And if someone else can see that and be like, why is he doing that? Or maybe question him, or it makes other people, you know, it fires thought. So negative reactions on social media fires your thought process.
Yes.
Am I good enough? Am I good enough? And you keep checking yourself. Am I good enough?
You can't
and it
help but do
sucks,
that.
bro. And it's like, this tall poppy here and all that sort of stuff is what's kind of like, you know, we've got so much keyboard warriors, but I know people that have 20 fake pages. That's why I put that thing up. I know everything that I put on that skit is everything that I've faced and witnessed. It's all lived experience. I don't want to share anything I haven't experienced.
Yeah, 100%.
And anything I'm going to experience, I'll share.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and look, I've dealt with it in the various different ways, especially in the early days when Kiwi Voice was absolutely blasting with all the protest stuff. You can imagine, you know, all the political commentary that I was doing, the stuff that I was getting. So went along the lines of first getting into arguments, then, you know, learning that pretty quickly that wasn't the way to do it, then ignoring, and that went okay, and leaving a lot of them up, but something was still eating away at me, and then I took that other option that you mentioned. I'm just trying to completely blind them with love and light, and it's testing, and I sort of promoted the page for quite a while as a free speech platform, and trying to really manage that and have all the haters come on and leave them there and not block them. It can, you know, like you say with social media, if you don't actively manage it, or if you haven't got a strategy for managing it, it can really eat away at you and put you into that negative space. So I like the way that you described that. No,
and I still haven't got my shit together, Fano. For anyone that says they got their shit together, bro, your shit stinks. Your shit stinks. When you go to the toilet, it stinks, brother. Your poo stinks. So, come on, man. We ain't getting through our shit. We're all just creating an easier pathway for someone else to deal with it. And that's why it's for the next generation.
For sure.
I want young people to regulate emotions early, to understand what value is, to understand what emotion is, so that when they come to their first breakup, they're not out there doing harmful things, or they're not out there to harm themselves or fall into those harmful tracks. They're like, okay, what's this emotion I'm feeling? I've learnt it. Because now I can put programs into schools when I get older. And I finish my stuff, I can start put these programs into schools where kids are actually learning about emotional regulation and what it's like to deal with these emotions. And where it stems from, and that they're actually allowed to experience it.
Of course so,
And it's just sitting in your own skin sometimes.
And that's the thing that's the society often pushes, is that, you know, you shouldn't feel it. You got to find a way to mask it, or get, you know, and subliminally in various different areas it's doing that. So it's really important to be able to have the youth understand that, and especially in these current times. I mean, we're watching. I've got my teenage daughters, and that, you know, going through this, growing up with smartphones. It's something completely and utterly different in social media, and, you know, so what they're dealing with, it's a whole different space. So excellent stuff with all that youth work. So coming back to the music industry and what you're doing with that, because that's originally what sort of drew me to you. You know, that single that I pointed out, Old Days. What's coming up? What are the plans, you know, with that side of things with you, Kincass?
So the music is in the message, and the message is in the music. So whatever I'm doing, it's got the essence behind it. Whether I'm being cheeky, having a cheeky track, having a bit of a lovey-dovey track, or whatever I'm making, just know that essence is always there. The love and light will always be there. And as a rapper, I'm trying to not box myself anymore. So I used to be really boxed in and just do all this positive stuff. And I've got a couple of cheeky tracks, you know. I just did Old Days, got a couple of cheeky bars in that, and I'm a rapper, you know. I've got to speak to some people too. So the next song coming out, Hit the Road Jack, bro. Can't wait. We're going back to the 60s with this one.
Sweet.
60 years ago, Ray Charles and Perry, they wrote this song and recorded it. Obviously, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back, no. So what I've done is I've created a sample, and we've got someone who's turned it into a drill track. And I'm talking about hitting the road, going on tour, taking my bros. We're going out broad. And there's some little cheeky bars in there and stuff. I've got another song I'm coming out. We're doing one called Pool Party. I can talk to these in the space. So Pool Party and Hit the Road Jack, they're all coming this year. But for me, it's just about keep developing the sound. Find the right connections, and we're just trying to elevate. So having a manager now, I can also look at possibly getting some funding to be able to go into some studio albums, studio production stuff, more funding through New Zealand On Air opportunities. So it's just get on the road, do some shows, do some tours, do some festivals, support some tours, just get out there and non-stop active work. and create a lot of music, collaborations. So yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot of music and visuals and just everything rolling out this year.
Fantastic. So quite an undertaking. Look, I mean, I've got a real deep interest in music, as a lot of people. Can't play anything, can't sing, but I have got an interest in the whole production of it and all that sort of thing. So what's involved in that? I mean, you're saying you're going to raise funds. Is it expensive, like to get studio time? Do you have to rent a studio? What's the go?
Yeah, so it really depends. So you could have a home set up and just like I'm slowly building mine up again. So I used to, when I first started, used to just record into a program, mix it, and then just render it down and put it out there. And it was trash, like to now. Because of the sound, you know. And then I've slowly been evolving the sound. So I linked up with a couple of different producers, got the sound evolved, and now it's to a point where pretty much I can record vocals, get it mixed, send it off to Chris Shetland at Cog Studios. So then you're getting the names behind you.
Sure.
So yeah, so a song could come from 300 to 5k, for a song, depending on what the vision is. If you've got funding, you're going to want to spend that money to get that best quality, get the best features, get the best instrumental, the best people on that song. So yeah, it's between $0 to $5,000, I think, for one song. But that $5,000 could also be a couple of singles in there as well. So yeah, it all comes down to just getting out there, meeting the right people that want to work with you. And what I've found in the music industry is that you want to work with people that actually support your vision. Because then you can hear it in the production. If you can hear it when they don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about feeling. Music's just everything when it comes to
And that's what the master comes down to. So a mix is the sound, right? But when I master my track, that's your feeling. So you can feel the eerie sounds and the waves, and then when the bass hits, it hits, and then when the hi-hats are going off, you're going off, and you're feeling the track. So you really, I've got up to a place where my songs are all getting mastered now, to a mastered professional level. So
awesome. So you've got plans for these new tracks and that coming up. Album in the works.
We just did the EP Old Days. So we did have plan on dropping another EP. So with these 2 tracks coming, with a few collabs, could create the second EP. But yeah, like I say, I'm looking for funding so that we can get into a studio and do a studio album, probably travel up to Wellington and Auckland, record with some bigger producers, and then turn it into a show. So the live album, so it becomes a live album in the end. In the end, it's got a theme, it's got a skit, it's got a show. It'll be beautiful. So the vision is not just to rush into it, because the studio album for me has to go into a tour. It's got to go international because I want it to, and I believe it's going to. So I dropped my first album in 2019 called The Awakening from Dark to Light. Nice. And now look at my presentation.
Yeah, of course.
So it's called The Awakening from Dark to Light. So I'm just keeping little pieces from the journey with me. That album was my testimony of my pain. You can hear me in that whole album crying out for something. I don't know what I'm doing. I do, but I don't. I got a whole lot of beats from a whole lot of different people. I found one dude that recorded it all and mastered it all, and we put it out. So now I found myself with these singles and these EPs. I'm like, okay, so I know the vision for the studio album, and it does. It costs money, bro. Like it could cost up to $40,000 to do a studio album, and then to take that on the road and tour that, and then to have a bloody stage manager and a crew. It all costs, but I believe that the right people will come to be able to make it happen and possible. That's that manifestation, Whānau.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can feel it. Like if I can speak to it and see it, then mirror, I can feel it now. Like I'm already in the studio performing those songs. I'm already writing that studio album in here, you know.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you can get to that extent, and you know it's going to come one way or the other. If you can sit and watch life enough as you go along the journey, then it's absolutely going to come to you.
Trust the process. Enjoy the journey. Don't worry about the destination. But my destination was good.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, look, and we'll be doing as I said. It's been awesome chatting to you today. So we'll continue to push. We'll let people know about what's happening in the KingCast world and support you guys on that as well. So if you got info on that on your page for how people can do so, if there's ways that they can support financially or otherwise, or shows that are coming up, is it all on your Facebook page?
Yes, so we also have a website. So kingcast.co.nz.
Cool.
Otherwise, search KingCast. If you just search up KingCast in Google, it'll pop up. You want to know who I am? Do that. You'll get all the old school documentaries. Some of the stuff where I'm finding myself, and you can hear it in the docos. And then we've got a life doco being filmed at the moment. I can't say too much. That's like
Sweet.
a 5-year journey.
Yeah.
So, and by the time I'm 43 in 5 years, oh shit. So I'm quite old, bro. I'm 37, but I don't feel it. I feel 27.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's why I believe
That
that
doesn't mean anything to
I'm destined to inspire more adults to get out and chase their dreams while inspiring young people to chase their future.
Yep.
So chase your dreams and chase your future is the kind of message. It's passion, potential, and purpose. The 3 Ps, bro. I used to smoke P. I put the P down and I picked up the 3 Ps. Passion, potential, and purpose.
Yep.
And I can't sweat enough that I push that. That is my key message. Hope, change, love, growth, light. They're all my key messages.
Fantastic.
And I think that, if anyone wants to help in any way, you can go to that website and it's going to give you the email.
Yep.
Once you email us, boom, you've got my manager. And then she can do all that if you want to give donations, support financially, sponsors, all of that sort of stuff, or just bookings if you want to book shows, book presentations, book motivational speaking, book workshops. I do a Dream Big workshop too, which is a 3-day workshop around young people learning values, creative writing and graffiti all in the same space.
Fantastic,
And at the end of it, we go paint a big wall and put Dream Big on it. And so I did that in Ashburton and piloted that, and we're looking at doing another one in Auckland, Massey.
Awesome.
So,
so
it's
awesome.
still kind of happening. So if anyone's interested in all of that stuff, kingcast.co.nz. Otherwise, it's kingcastmovement@gmail.com for bookings and all of that stuff. And if you want to help in any way.
All of that stuff that you've been saying will come up on the screen in nice fancy fonts so people can see that. Nice. So that'll be awesome.
Nice.
And look, I'll be totally honest. I mean, it's your energy online that really, as I say, in your music initially that drew me to you. And now that I'm sitting with you, I get those vibes. I get those inspiring vibes. I have to say, I've got all sorts of things that I'd love to be able to get into, and I'm going to, and been just working on the manifestation of them over the last year or so. One of them came to light with the Spirit Fest. That was a real sort of, wow, I've already seen this kind of moment, so it was amazing. So really appreciate you sharing your vibes with me and having this yarn. And we'll do it again. You suggested as you walked in that we should probably do this regularly, and I reckon so. We're local, we're both creators of some description, and it'd be awesome to continue to collaborate with you. Yeah.
Sweet, bro.
Fantastic.
The man.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Alrighty, thanks team for tuning in. All the details there as you're seeing for King Cass's content. Keep an eye on Kiwi Voice as well as we keep it going with the breathwork classes here in Christchurch, and hopefully get that heading around the South Island as well. For now, stay safe, stay free. See you again real soon. Peace. Alrighty. I think that's cool as.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a